Welcome to the Other Side of Medicine, a trusted source for education, not medication, for 35 years. In every episode of the Other Side of Medicine, we deliver health information your doctor won't tell you about. My guests are the nation's leading health experts in science-based natural medicine, physicians, authors, researchers, and clinicians. We believe natural medicine should be first, drugs and surgery last, and so we promise to deliver you the next generation of health information built on three principles: common sense, science, and cooperation with nature. Well, hello and welcome to the Other Side of Medicine. I'm Dr. Chris Stosick, and we are glad that you're spending some time with us as always. And tonight we're going to be talking about something that is personal, something that I think that you might find helpful, especially if you are having problems with your poop. So let me ask you a personal question. Are you pooping normal every day? Well, if you're struggling with constipation, or maybe you've got loose stools or bloating, or you have uncomfortable digestive tract, you got discomfort in your digestive system, well, if you're silently nodding your head yes right now, you're not alone. Trust me, there's millions of people out there just like you, millions of Americans. They're battling with gut issues, and they're struggling with them for years. Thinking about it, that their body is not just working like it like to, and they would like to be able to get regular. Yeah, well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But let me tell you, to get regular, to have easy bowel movements every single day is not a luxury. It's a requirement for vibrant health. So if you're not having normal bowel movements every day, if you're struggling with that, well then what if I told you there's a simple solution and you can start today or tomorrow? You can do it tomorrow as well. And you could do it right from your kitchen, and you can have normal bowel movements within less than 2 weeks. And in 10 days, something that doesn't require a prescription. No, we're not all about prescription here on the Other Side of Medicine. It doesn't have side effects either, and it won't break the bank. It's something very simple, very simple. The solution is, my friend, it's a humble little superfood. Now, I'm going to tell you what that superfood is in just a minute, but I'm going to show you how just in 10 days, taking this little superfood every single day can completely transform your digestion and get rid of constipation. It can firm up loose stools, and it can set you up for a long-term health and boost your immune system, because whether you knew it or not, 75% of your immune system sits inside of your gut. So what is this special food? Well, you may have heard about it before. It's called chia seeds. There are these little black or little white seeds. And what's so special about them? Well, let's begin by looking at why they're so extraordinary. And you've probably seen them, like I said before, in the supermarket, or you've heard about them on the internet. And they're only the size of a pinhead, but don't let their little size fool you, my friend. These little guys are a nutrition powerhouse. You see, chia seeds are loaded with what's called water-soluble fiber. And they also have omega-3 fats, which are very good for your heart health, for reducing inflammation, and a whole lot of other things. And they also have some significant plant-based protein. They got antioxidants, they got calcium, magnesium, and a whole lot more. But the real magic that we're talking about right now lies in the water-soluble fiber. See, when you soak the chia seeds in water, they absorb 10 to 15 times more their weight, and they form that's in water, and they form a gel, the consistency of a gel. And this gel is what your digestive tract loves. It acts like a sponge, and it acts like a broom at the same time, and it holds onto water, keeping your stool soft and easy to pass. And it sweeps through the colon and cleans it up and gets rid of all the toxic waste in a gentle internal scrub. And that's what you want. You want to have a bowel function that's healthy and normal, and also it helps to feed the beneficial bacteria. We'll talk about that. See, Chia seeds are nature's perfect balance for a healthy gut. And if you've got constipation, diarrhea, or everything that's in between with your digestive problems, you're going to get some benefit from taking these seeds and soaking them in the way that I'll be sharing with you coming up at the well, the end of the video. But I'll give you a recipe for success. It's delicious. It's easy to make. As a matter of fact, after this podcast, even though it's late, I'm going to have this recipe myself because it's easy on the digestive tract and it's easy to absorb, easy to break down, and you can get some amazing benefits by using this every day. Now, let's get a little personal right now about bowel habits, your bowel habits. If you've ever dealt with constipation, you know how miserable it can be. You feel sluggish, you feel bloated, and sometimes you're even anxious and foggy-headed, and maybe even get depressed because you're having this problem with your digestive system. On the other hand, loose stools or diarrhea, and that can leave you depleted, dehydrated, and it's actually embarrassing, especially if you have to run to the bathroom quickly because you're going to have an accident. But most people don't realize that chia seeds help with both of these. So how does it do that? Well, it's all about that fiber I told you, the water-soluble fiber. And it's a gel-forming fiber that binds with water to bulk up loose stools, and that's the stools that also slow things down. But it also adds moisture and mass to the hard stools, helping to move things along. See, it balances your bowel transit time. That's the time that it takes the food to go in your mouth and come out the other end. And that should be between 18 and 24 hours. And by the way, I have a stool transit time test that if you just leave in the comments, say you would like to get that stool transit time test. It's very simple to do. I'll be happy to send that to you. And you can see where your bowel transit time lands. It should, again, be between 18 and 24 hours, the time the food goes in the mouth and comes out the other end. And you can mark the food so you can know how long it takes to get out the other end. And if it's less than that, you've got diarrhea. If it's longer than that, you've got constipation. You know, and many people have loose stools, or they have bowel movements that they don't have for 24, that's normal. They don't have it for 48, 72 hours. Sometimes people don't have a bowel movement for a week or two. And I've seen that with many patients who suffer with constipation, taking medications, and they don't get any better. But here's the good news. In clinical studies, in research studies, people with chronic constipation saw significant improvement in their stool consistency and frequency in just a few days using chia seeds. And of course, I've seen it in my patients I just mentioned to you, just like Debbie, one of my longtime patients. She hadn't had a solid bowel movement for over a decade. 10 years. Could you imagine that? She didn't have a solid bowel movement for over 10 years. And just in less than a week, using the soaked chia seed recipe that I'm going to share with you here tonight, she called up my office and she was nearly in tears. And she said, Dr. J, I had a normal poop for the first time in years. And when I hear stuff like that, it really gets me excited. And because people suffer with these things, they go to their medical doctors, they give them medications for these things, which cause side effects, and they still don't get relief. Now, here's the good news. Beyond the bathroom, your whole body benefits from using the chia seeds. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's great, Dr. J, but if chia seeds are only good for going to the bathroom, well, what do they do? Well, how can they help you? Well, the benefits of chia seeds go way beyond the bathroom. First, they help to balance blood sugar. And you know how many people in this country have problems with blood sugar problems? 65 to 70% of Americans are suffering with insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes as well as a complication. See, the chia seed fiber, that water-soluble fiber, it's able to help to improve the speed of the food moving through your digestive tract. Because when people have blood sugar problems, their stool is not going through the digestive tract, and it causes them to have spikes in the blood sugar as well. Um, so you've got to make sure that you're having the slow movement of the food going through your digestive tract, but yet fluidly. That's the key and important point. It's not getting hung up and getting constipated. It's moving it slowly, releasing blood sugar slowly. So it keeps your blood sugar even, but it keeps it moving fluidly. And that's the most important thing, especially with people with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. And studies that were published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that chia seed reduces the blood sugar spikes significantly. Now, if that's not enough, chia seeds also help to support heart health. Now, heart health is a huge problem. The number one cause of death here in this country is heart attacks. So in chia seeds, you're going to find omega-3 fatty acids, and that helps to reduce inflammation, lower triglycerides, lower the blood pressure as well. So that's dramatic. You're going to get not only a better bowel function, but you're going to have improvement in your heart function, blood sugar levels, and third, you're going to feel fuller longer. Now that's important. It can help to curb your snacking and help to aid in weight loss. I can't tell you how many of my patients, after using this simple formula, they were able to lose weight without trying. Now that's really important because we have Americans that are overweight and obese, and that's a significant problem. So that same gel-like fiber that expands in your stomach and your digestive tract, it tells your brain, I'm full. So you keep satisfied and you're able to not crave the foods constantly and keep on wanting to go back for more because you feel full, and that's really good. And then finally, the other benefit is that the chia seeds provide a prebiotic fiber, and it feeds your healthy gut bacteria. Now, I can't tell you how important that is. Your gut bacteria have so many functions. They, as I mentioned earlier, they help to boost your immune system. They help to fight inflammation, and they really help to curb and reduce anxiety and depression, and help to improve mental function. There's that brain-gut connection that we've talked about many times here on this program, which research is just exploding, showing the significance between your gut health and your brain function. So really, really important. Chia seeds are going to be able to give you the right way to put back your digestive system, help your blood sugar levels, help your heart and your blood pressure levels, and lower your triglycerides. It's again, help that gut bacteria. It's that simple, but it's important to do. Now, I promised you that I was going to give you some simple things to do to make delicious recipes with chia seeds. And there's a couple of things you could do. I'm going to give you some options. One of my favorites, and the one I'll have tonight, is I take and I soak the chia seeds overnight. Now, what I do is I take 3 tablespoons of chia seeds and I soak them in 1.5 to 2 cups of water overnight. Now, you could just do it for a couple, 2-3 hours as well, and you'll still be able to have those chia seeds swell. But soaking them overnight is much better. So taking those chia seeds, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of them, and soaking them overnight being the best situation. And then what I like to do is then after they're soaked, I like to add some yogurt that is dairy-free, unsweetened yogurt. That's coconut yogurt. That's my favorite. And the reason I use the coconut milk yogurt is because dairy foods, as you heard me talk about many times here on the Othe Side of Medicine, from cow's milk is very harmful to the entire body. It causes inflammation, because of allergic reactions. And many people are suffering with so many symptoms that come from dairy foods, whether it's cow's milk or cheeses or yogurt. And that's why I use the coconut milk yogurt. Now, if you would like to use an animal milk product, you can, but I would suggest using sheep milk or goat milk, or you can get bison milk too as well. These are foods that are very similar to mother's milk. They have a protein that's it's the same as the mother's milk, whereas the cow's milk protein is entirely different. So using the goat milk or the sheep milk is a really good alternative. I like to use the coconut milk. You can just take the yogurt, again, unsweetened and dairy free, the coconut milk yogurt, and I like to put in there about, maybe like a quarter of a cup along with those chia seeds. Now, I also like to add oftentimes a green banana. Now, why do I add a green banana? Well, green bananas help to provide a prebiotic fiber that is able to help to increase the beneficial bacteria. And the research shows that the green bananas help it significantly. Now, if you don't use a green banana, you could use an avocado. That'll thicken it, but it'll also give you the benefits of the avocado. So either a green banana or half an avocado. That would be a delicious substitute for the banana. And then what you can do is add some frozen fruits. That's what I like to do. I'll add a cup of frozen fruit, any type of frozen fruit, including blueberries or strawberries or mango. And you could add spices to it as if you want, like cinnamon is a great spice to add. But in any event, just add about a cup of the frozen fruit, blend it all up, and this is something that you could drink, in the morning. Would be a good breakfast drink. And again, you'll see some dramatic results. Now, you could also use chia seeds by a simpler way. You can make a pudding. You can make a chia seed pudding, and you could just take about 4 or 5 tablespoons of the chia seeds and put them in some coconut milk and soak them overnight. And then you could let that swell. And of course, you could add some spices like, again, cinnamon if you like. And it makes it really taste delicious. So you could try that as well. So you don't have to make a smoothie out of it. You can make a pudding out of it. But again, it's very simple. And if you're having problems with digestion for a long time, sometimes you might have to start off a little slower. So just kind of feel how it works with your body. Again, most people could take 2 or 3 tablespoons of chia seeds, soak them, and get some really good benefits. Sometimes it's a little bit too much for a digestive tract that's got a lot of harmful bacteria living in it, and it can cause a lot of gas and bloating. So just kind of feel how it works for your body. And if you have to reduce the quantity of chia seeds, well, try that for a while and see how that works. And most people can handle 2 or 3 tablespoons of chia seeds that are soaked, especially. And again, you can spice it up a little bit, like I said, by adding some cinnamon, and it really helps to make the flavor even better. So again, drink that smoothie as I mentioned, or take the pudding first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and follow it up with a glass of water. And it's going to jumpstart your digestion. It's also going to help to detoxify your gut as well, because that fiber pulls toxins out of the body. Again, as I said, you can jazz it up by adding cinnamon or a lemon, and you could make a smoothie out of it. You can stir it into your oatmeal. Again, you could just make a pudding out of it. There's so many different ways you can make it, but it's really delicious, and it makes a world of difference for your gut. So let's break down what happens when you do this chia seed regimen for 10 days. I call it the 10-day chia seed challenge. Well, so the first and second day, you may notice a little bit of bloating. Sometimes that does happen. But if you drink a lot of water, that's going to really reduce that significantly. So I like to use a rule of thumb, which is to drink half of your weight in ounces of water every single day. That's just an overall general rule for everybody. So if you weigh, let's say, 150 pounds, you'd have 75 ounces of water every single day. Again, that's going to make a huge difference. And day 3 to day 5, what's going to happen during that chia seed challenge? Well, you're going to see the constipation or the loose stools are going to begin to normalize. And you're going to also notice that your energy is going to improve. That's going to be significant. Remember, I talked about the blood sugar equalizing. And day 6 through 8, now you're having daily easy bowel movements, and your gut feels a lot lighter. You don't feel as bloated. And then day 9 and 10, you're going to start noticing you're going to have less cravings. You may even see better skin quality. You're going to have better mental focus, maybe not that mental flaw, that brain fog. Because why is that all going to be doing that? Because your gut is working with you now, not against you. So remember, stay hydrated during this whole process. Drink half of your weight in ounces of water per day. Your body needs water to help that fiber really do its job. So here's some common mistakes that people make. I want you to make sure you don't make them because I want you to succeed. So let me share some of these mistakes. First of all, don't just take the chia seeds without soaking them. The best ideal is to soak them overnight. And then if you eat the dry chia seeds, you're going to cause GI distress. So always soak them first. And again, not drinking enough water. Fiber, there's a lot of fiber, that water-soluble fiber. It needs fluid to help to form that bulk. So otherwise, you're going to feel backed up. So eating too much too fast. So begin with, again, if you're having digestive problems, maybe just go with 1 tablespoon a day, then build it up to 2 tablespoons, and build it up to 3. Just listen to your body. That's the key. And again, ignoring food allergies. I can't tell you how many of my patients have improved dramatically symptoms that they've had with digestive problems or chronic diseases that are linked to hidden food allergies. The inflammations that are triggered by hidden food allergies is unbelievable. The biggest culprits are dairy foods from cow's milk, as I mentioned earlier, gluten grains, and then, they're going to inflame your gut, including sugar. Sugar is just overall for everybody, not something you should be having a lot of. Minimize that to just a couple grams of sugar in a food at a mealtime is probably the best choice. So again, getting rid of food allergies. And if you've never been tested for hidden food allergies, I'd highly recommend it. You can leave a comment in the section below, and you can discuss this with me and talk about if any symptoms that you have may be related to these hidden food allergies. I'd be happy to share some suggestions for you on which blood tests to get, because they're not all the same. Food allergy tests are so different. There is the what's called the IgE, immediate allergy testing, which most allergists do. And that's not what I'm talking about. This is a delayed food sensitivity. It's a whole different type of reaction. So don't be confused by the 2 different types of allergy. These are delayed, and anywhere from 3 to 5 days after you eat the food, you could have a symptom or you could have chronic disease develop because of it, as opposed to the immediate allergies, which you're going to see the symptoms occur within the first half hour to an hour. And that's what typical allergists test for. I'm not talking about that kind of allergy. Once again, you can leave a comment if you'd like to know more about that. So let me share a few more stories of patients of mine that really made me smile, and of course made my patients smile. There was a patient, Joe, who had retired as a cop early, and he had really every single day he had a plan around his bathroom procedures because he had irritable bowel syndrome. And just after 7 days on the Chia Seed Challenge, he was finally free from having to suffer with this irritable bowel syndrome. And then there was another patient, Susan. She was 24, a 24-year-old college student, and she was bloated and sluggish, and she had very little energy, and she was fog-brained, and And after eating chia seed smoothies for only about the 10-day challenge, she saw a dramatic difference. And I've used chia seeds for over 30 years, and I'm a triathlete. I play basketball with college students. And again, I'm 76 years old, and I have the energy of a 20-year-old. And I've been using chia seeds as a staple in my diet for energy, focus, and gut health for over 30 years. So the results speak for themselves, my friends. So here's some final thoughts. Here's your action plan that you should start doing tomorrow. Don't wait. Get going on this right away. So tonight or tomorrow, whatever you want to do, soak 2 or 3 tablespoons of chia seeds overnight. And then in the morning, as I said, you can make a smoothie with it. I gave you the directions for it earlier. You could just soak them in some coconut milk if you want and make a pudding, or you could have the smoothie in the morning as I directed. And have it on an empty stomach. Have that drink or that chia seed pudding on an empty stomach. And do this every single day consistently for 10 days. And I promise you, you're going to see a dramatic difference. And you can journal your progress. Keep a daily journal and see how you feel, see how you do. And I'm telling you, my friends, you don't need a miracle drug. You need the miracle of nature. And nature provides us with the things we need to improve our health. And chia seeds are one of the best tools that the good Lord has given us to restore our balance and our ease of our bowel function and overall wellness. So, my friends, if you found this video helpful, if you enjoyed this podcast, tell your friends about it. We're here every single week on the Othe Side of Medicine, and we post on social media a couple times a day with health information that your doctor's not going to tell you about. And again, it's not because your doctor's trying to hide something from you. It's not that way. The doctors today, the conventional doctors, haven't learned about natural medicine. They know about prescription drugs. They know about surgical procedures. But when it comes to natural medicines, they're flunking miserably. They don't take hardly any nutrition courses. They don't hardly take any kind of courses with natural remedies and natural treatments. But you need to take advantage of the functional medicine practitioners like myself to learn as much as you can how to help your body to heal itself. Remember that wellness is not a destination. It's a journey. It's a lifestyle. So, my friends, until next week, I'm Dr. Christosic. And by the way, before I leave, I'd like to invite you to join my Gut 911 prescription community. It's a community of people just like you who are gathered together, and we share information. And I provide lots of resources, free resources of books and courses of mine that can help you to reclaim your health, maintain your health, and enjoy an independently healthy life. So, my friends, go to my website, theothersideofmedicine.com, and you can find the Gut 911 prescription link for the community. You could also get the link on our daily posts on social media. We're on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and we're on all the social media platforms, and you can get information and learn how to get into the Gut 911 prescription community for free. But by the way, it's only free for the first 100 people. So we have less than 70 right now. When it gets to 100, it's going to be we're going to start to charge a monthly fee. It won't be a lot, but it'll be a monthly fee. And right now you get a lifetime access for free for the first 100 people. So until next time, my friends, here's to your health.